Welcome back to the YouTube. Today we have Julian Sollai,
What's up?
otherwise known as... I always ask you this. What is the name of the character?
Is
Is it a no-name character? Why did I have Francesco in my head?
I don't know.
It does look like a Francesco. Can we call it Francesco?
Yeah, let's call it that. That's fine.
Francesco.
Not even sure if I'm gonna do any more videos with him.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I think it's funny. I think it works. I think if I look at my engagement, it didn't actually perform as well as other videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think the community, like my clients and like people that know me, really like it. Like they find it really funny. But I think if you do character videos, the character should be not an extension of yourself, but it should be like basically your niche.
The personification of your audience.
Yeah, like an exaggeration of your niche. Yeah. And I don't think a blonde girl
with
doing
sunglasses.
stupid shit in the gym is my niche anyway. So
do we think we're gonna kill the character stuff entirely, or just create a new character?
I think I'm not gonna do as much character stuff. I think I'm probably still gonna do every now and again, but it's gonna be more of a community post, not like a growth post. If that makes sense. That's the way that I like to split it, like community posts and growth posts. Yeah. So the growth posts are the ones that are like I'm doing, with a very specific system, so that I know I will get a lot of views and a lot of likes. And then the community ones are ones that are a bit more relaxed. Perhaps they're a bit more about my personal journey or a bit more about social proof. Those are the ones that probably only my followers are going to see. Yeah. So it's probably going to be one of those posts.
Okay, cool. That leads us on to actually, we've got the video up. This is Francesco, who I've called him Francesco in my head for a long time.
That's it.
I can see that, to be fair. Looks like Francesco.
Yeah, the beard gives it away that it's a bloke, I think. No. I'm going to be honest. Good head of hair.
Well, I wasn't going to shave my beard for it.
No, I can imagine. Yeah, that had been really pushing yourself into it. But so content is one of the things we want to spoke about with you, because content is, I feel like, driven a bit of a transformation in your business with regards to the standard of client that you were getting. Obviously, when you started working with us, you were quite heavily prep clients, I think, at one point, or around that kind of. And now you're just, a lot more like just jam pot people looking to improve the physique and confidence, things like that. How do you split your content up? Like, everyone has a slightly different content strategy, I think. Like, I think we all work from a similar baseline, but then people develop it kind of what lends themselves. Like, when you go in and plan like a month's worth of content, for example, like, how do you split it all up?
Well, for me, it's more about like coming up with ideas, talking about things that are obviously very specific to my niche, but at the same time quite unique. And actually, you can talk about something that is just very boring or just heard before, but if you tell it in a unique way or just fun way or just different, it still works, because at the end of the day, we all talk about the same shit. So it's really just about how you deliver that piece of information. And obviously, like, the hook is a massive thing. Yeah. How you open the video. So you obviously want to make sure they're straight to the point, and it's quite specific as well. And there's always a way to make it more specific. If you want to talk about something that is very general, you can always kind of crop it up and just make it even more specific, make it even more direct. And that's really the way that I think about my content. So it's not so much about what I want to talk about, but it's how can I deliver this in a way that is more effective.
Yeah. That is pretty much the whole point of content, in my opinion. Yeah. And you see this a lot with people that don't do good content, then start trying to run ads, and it flops, or the lead cost is massive, or it just doesn't work because they're not good at getting to the point early on in the video and really kind of telling it in a unique way. So like, ads is all about basically following the same system that like calls out your target market, talks about a problem, shows like personal understanding of the problem, tells them how they can get help with it, call to action. It's a very similar process, but it's the delivery model of that and how you do it and how it stands out. I've noticed that a lot of fitness people always do ads in shit shirts. Like, or there's just an Australian guy that I see a lot of ads with that just happens to have shit shirts, but I'm sure he does it on purpose. I'm positive he does it on purpose. But it's just about having something that stands out. Yeah. Like, once an ad manager said to me, like, just do it with like a rubby dingy unicorn around your waist. Like, why? And he's just like, because people will stop.
Yeah, but
and
you
look
see,
at
with
it.
that, you also it also has to fit your personality.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I wore it, people
Yeah.
would be like, what the
That doesn't
fuck?
make sense.
Yeah.
But if you're just like yourself, you know, and perhaps you're like 10% more of what you really
Yeah.
are, if that makes sense, like you kind of exaggerate who you are a little bit. I think that would just work a lot better. Yeah.
It's almost like a slight animation of your character, isn't it?
Yeah. But that's how it is on camera anyway. Like if you're just like yourself completely, yes, it works, but your energy is always going to be a bit low. You always got to like push it up a little bit. Yeah.
Some people struggle with that, you know, like this is like, you're very good at it. Like you're very good at like amplifying. And I think it's just the creativity in you.
Yeah, but I wasn't naturally good. I was fucking shit at talking to the camera.
Go on.
Honestly.
What was the transition then in getting good at that?
I think it's just practice.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just practice. Like, but that's with anything. It's the same as the gym. When you go to the gym for the first time, you're not going to be good at lifting weights.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing, you know?
Do you remember the first time you did a bench press with a barbell and you tried to get it to come down in the same like line?
Exactly.
And now you just do it normally and you think, how the fuck does anyone struggle with this?
Yeah, exactly. So you can't get frustrated at yourself for that, you know? You just got to keep practicing it. Yeah. So that's really the secret.
How many videos do you think you've made?
I think Instagram says 1,030, something like that. Just over.
59.
Yeah.
You've made 1,000 videos.
Yeah, but I think good ones probably only in the last year, to be fair.
How long has that time period been then? How long have you been making videos for?
Yeah, probably about a year.
No, but when did they get good?
Oh, probably 6 months ago. I think they they just got
There's a
progressively
graduation,
better.
yeah. But like 6 months is where you think that you put effort into it without really it being that
Yeah, and you know
useful.
what? It's a lot easier to make them now than I'm just being myself.
Yeah.
Than when I was just trying to put a persona on. It's just so like energy consuming when you're just trying to be somebody else. When you're just yourself, it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm just going to do this thing because it's what I usually do anyway. I think Barry does that a lot. Like it's just himself. He makes the jokes that you probably would, you know, all the time. And that works very well.
Yeah, I can imagine he does just fucking narrate his whole life pretty much. But what kind of advice would you give to people then that, because you probably were like a very good coach, like a very aspirational coach, like you were in great shape, but your content didn't really spark the way it does now. And I'm assuming there's lots of coaches in that area that are good coaches that have very good coaching knowledge that struggle to just get it to work for social media. What would your tips be to them?
I think other than practicing and being yourself, there is a big one that's probably going to be a bit triggering for people, but it's just being humble.
Yeah.
It's being humble about learning a new skill. Like you need to understand that you can be the best fucking coach in the world, but if you don't put yourself out there, you're not going to get clients. So you can't use that as an excuse because you're a good coach, then you're not going to put content out there. And I think Brett, what's his name? Brett, the glute guy, made a post about this on how the best practitioners, they're not great on social media. And I'm like, well, that is part of the job.
Yeah.
And if you're not good at it, just go work for someone that, you know, is obviously good at it.
Yeah.
Just so you can do your job on a larger scale, more of it, and you don't have to produce the content. But nowadays, if you're not on social media and you're not doing your content, you're not going to get clients. So you can't really cry about it. And I think just saying, I'm not good at this, is not good enough.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to be good at it.
Do you think some fight it a little bit? I've seen people like, you don't need to be on Instagram, like doing this, doing that. Like all you need to do is do a good job for your clients.
Yeah, but that's the same as like coaches selling you the dream of like having the super sustainable diet and, you know, and losing a lot of weight. Yeah, it might work if you're really overweight, but you definitely can't get to like, you know, competition or level or like photo shoot level without having some sort of restriction. So, you know, it's the same with that. It's just kind of selling the, you know, the magic pill, you know. That's probably what a lot of mentors do nowadays, right? They tell you don't need a large social media following or you don't need like to be good at content to get clients.
I think there's an element of truth and an element of like, you don't need a large social media following
for sure.
to make a couple of grand. If you want to make 100 grand a year consistently, there'll be a point where if you've got a small following and you don't grow that following and you don't know how to grow your social media, you will run out of people. Say you've got 3,000 people, it'll work for 3 months before you've gone through that 3,000 people. And people say you don't need a large following. You don't need a large following to start.
Yeah, for sure.
But you need to be able to create a growing following at some point. That's like if you were about to sell your business and they were like, what's your way of getting new attention on your products? You're like, oh, we don't. We just sell to people that we've already got. And they'd be like, well, what happens if that runs out? Like, oh, we don't know.
Yeah.
They'd be like, see, your business basically is worth fuck all in 6 months then. Once you've gone through everybody that you've gone through.
But that's why the social media strategy is part of your service.
Yeah.
Because you have to develop that too, right?
Yeah. I think Simon's better at this than me because like there's a real skill in getting people that aren't naturally into social media to start to love it to the point. And I think you do have to really enjoy content creation because there is an element of like testing the waters of it. And like you did, like you just said when you opened the video, right? Like I love the character stuff. Like people find it funny, but when I look at the engagement, it doesn't really convert to new followers. It's not really helping. While it might be a bit of, it's a laugh and everyone likes it, it doesn't really work like for what you want it to. And I think you've got to have that element of it where like some people are like, well, I'm okay doing this kind of video, so I'll just do this kind of video. And this is what I feel comfortable doing. And you're like, yeah, but computers say no over and over and over and over again about these videos. So and you see people do it all the time. Like people take the piss out of coaches trying different content strategies. Like, oh, you're doing another Aldi protein shop. And I'm like, bro, they're just finding the feet with content. Like, let people live. It's not a big deal. Like, if they feel like to start the process, they have to copy someone else's idea just to get themselves feeling comfortable. Yeah. Well, that's what we all do. That might be we all mimic other people. When you go in the gym the first time and you don't know what you're fucking doing, what you do? Of course. You look at what the big guys are doing and you copy what they're doing. And sometimes you pick up some fucking stupid habits because occasionally the big guys don't know what they're doing either. And like, like, you don't learn, nobody sits down and goes, bro, this is how you're going to do 21 bicep curls. Nobody teaches you how to do 21s. You learn 21s off looking at the big dude doing 21s. Do I know to this day where the 21s work? Do I? I don't have a fucking clue. Do they work? Probably not. Is it any different than doing 12 reps? I would probably wager that there's fucking no difference. Anyway. Other than it takes longer. And you probably wreck the good reps that you're doing. But that's how people learn. And devoid of having like a clear strategy that they believe is going to work, coaches just copy other coaches. Of course they do. Because some coaches don't have a fucking clue what they're doing when they first start. And that's fine. And then you've got to find your own voice with it. Like eventually, then you'll be like, all right, well, I kind of know what I'm doing now. And I kind of know that doesn't work for me. Even though I saw that guy doing it, it doesn't quite work. Now I've got to find what works for me. It's just a confidence thing, I think. And I think anybody that's taken a step further out of what they're normal with is fine by me. Yeah, for sure. It's just that step further, isn't it? I don't think you're going to get anyone copying yours. Like, I actually get a lot of people copying it. Really? Yeah. But even the wig? Not the wig, no. Well, I mean, there's people doing characters that are like very similar, but yeah. I take it as a compliment, to be honest with you. And if it helps other people, that's fine. There was one coach, I swear to God, there was one coach once that used to always send me screenshots of people that had copied my content. Like, he used to inbox me like, bro, this guy's copying your content. And he'd be like, okay, cheers. And I just ignore it. And I had to ask him to stop at one point because it just got to a point where like every day in my inbox, it was like, this coach has copied your content, this coach has copied your content. And I'm like, bro, do you do any work? What are you doing? Are you just trolling the internet trying to find people who copy me? And he's like, I just thought you should know, bro. And I'm like, I genuinely do not care. Of course. Bearing in mind, I've been making content for the best part of, when did I start teaching? 22. Started teaching when I was 22. I've been making content for the best part of a decade because every lesson where I had to get up in front of them kids and teach physics to kids that did not give a shit about physics, that lesson becomes content. Like, you have to turn it into content that they're going to listen to and consume. And if I can do it with fucking, I forgot what they're called now. What are the things in quarks? If I can do it with quarks, which isn't a soft cheese, it's high in protein, by the way. It's a different thing in physics. If I can do it with that, I can do it with fucking fat loss. and stuff like that. But yeah, so 3 big tips then for people to improve the content, rapid fire.
Just, be yourself again. Don't try to put a persona on. Don't try to fit in. Just, tell the story your unique way. Practice. So do a lot of fucking content. If you're not good at it, you should definitely focus on it and do more of it. And then the third one is just accept that initially you're not going to be great at it, and that's fine. And it's a skill that you need to develop because it's essential for your business.
Words from the man himself. Thank you very much. Where can people find you if they want to check out your content?
Just Instagram.
Which is?
Julian.Sollai, Sollai.
I made him spell it on the on the podcast, so that's why. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it. If you enjoyed that, you want to learn more about how to improve your business or improve your content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, which is up there, and you'll be notified when we do more videos. See you later.